My name is LaKisha Bridgewater, and I'm a psychiatric social worker for Los Angeles Unified School District. I'm a licensed clinical social worker by the state of California. We're called to come into schools and assess children. Now, what does that mean? Well, there are many children who are facing things that precludes their access to learning. It impedes them. It might be that they're coming from a broken home, but they lack resources. It might be that they have a history of child abuse. It might be that they witnessed something violent in the streets. It might be a learning disability. It might be that they're facing suicidal ideation because they have an undiagnosed mental health disorder such as depression or PTSD. It may be that they're lonely and they lack friends, they lack social skills. It may be that they have Asperger's. For all of these things, psychiatric social workers are called in. We develop treatment plans. We determine where the need is, and we gather together the resources to meet those needs. Recently, at a local elementary school, 45 psychiatric social workers were called in. We were called in to help to heal the psychological, emotional, mental, spiritual wounds of children who have been abused on the very campus that was supposed to keep them safe. When we left that campus, the attendance rates improved because the students learned to again trust the adults that were there. The parents again learned to have faith in the system that was put into place to educate their children. Not only did the attendance rates go up after we left and after we provided services, but also the academic outcomes improved. Currently, over 57 psychiatric social workers are going to lose their jobs if we don't rescind these RIF notices. That's devastating because there's only 150 purchased psychiatric social workers that I know of, maybe less, and a total of 300 that are called to service over 106,000 students. So needless to say, there's a disparity because every student that needs help, every campus that could benefit from our services does not have the services that they need. But when there is a need, we answer the call. When there's a student on the roof, they call in a psychiatric social worker. When there's a child who says, I've lost everything and I no longer want to live, they call in a psychiatric social worker. When there's a family that doesn't know what to do and they don't know how to advocate on themselves to make sure that their child gets the best education possible, they call in a psychiatric social worker. Our superintendent knows this, our parents know this, and our campuses know this. But even though they desire to purchase our services, they often say, we don't have the resources. And not only is it going to be an issue of lacking resources, but now there's a situation that even if they do have the money to purchase a social worker, we won't be there. And so what we're asking is that we come together and that we raise our voices on behalf of Health and Human Services so that our kids do not lose the voices and the advocates and the mentors and the people who not only come to serve on their behalf, but who believe in them. At the end of the day, only 1 out of every 2 students is currently graduating from high school, especially in economically depressed areas. Well, where do they end up going? Well, 1 out of every 2 students ends up in juvenile hall. That's our future. I became a clinical social worker because I was a student who lacked resources. I was a person who came from a broken home. I was a person who lived in a home where there was substance abuse. But someone believed in me. I went on to go to UC Berkeley. I went on to go to USC. And I made a commitment to dedicate my life to help students who have potential but needed additional interventions. It is not enough to put a school book in front of a child and say, learn. How do you educate a mind that is broken? How do you educate a soul that is wounded? How do you convince a child that has so much in them but has never been told that they can go on to do anything that they want to do and become anything that they want to be? Psychiatric social workers have answered the call to do so. And so what we're asking is that we don't lay down and that we don't sleep on this, that we don't sleep at a time when they are cutting out Health and Human Services providers that go into the home and they do the hard work so that our kids can learn and achieve the academic outcomes that they need to produce optimal life results. What we need you to do is to write. What we need you to do is to call. What we need you to do is to make a decision that we really do want to put our time and our effort to protect the treasures that we've been given, which is our children. Again, I'm LaKisha, and I'm a psychiatric social worker. And I'm asking that you raise your voice and you stand along our sides so that our kids' needs can be met. Thank you.